Luminous was genuinely irritated. It just so happened that when she invited Demon Lord Rimuru to attend this musical exchange, the traitor Granbell decided to ravage the land. Such a miscalculation had been a first since the founding of Lubelius. She wanted to head directly to the Grand Cathedral and decimate all those trouble-making enemies. But out of her instinct and reason, she did not. Seeing how much of a wreckage the enemies were making, it must have been a distraction. Lewis and Gunther stood by Lumina's side. Neither of them dared to make a sound, fearing that it would further infuriate their master. Yet even when surrounded by serenity, just like Lumina's, their hearts were anxious. However, they were not stupid enough to make the wrong judgment of what to prioritize. If Granbell was handling the distraction, what would his goal be? If it's that man, he must know of my treasured Holy Ark. Then it's not impossible that he's thinking of liberating her. The Holy Ark was Lumina's secret treasure. However, there was an even larger reason as to why she had to protect the Holy Ark at all costs. Granbell was among the people who knew the reason, so it was unlikely that he would target the Holy Ark. But even so, Luminous decided to trust her instinct. And she guessed right. In that deepest room, found within a tomb that nobody else should have known even existed, some unwanted guests showed up. What the hell, our infiltration has been compromised. Or maybe the security here is too tight. Haha, how regretful, but looks like we have interesting prey here. Maybe we can make a bit of fuss. Why not, but you gotta be careful. That babe over there ain't normal. I'm guessing you're probably Demon Lord Luminous-sama. Two intruders broke in and dropped some fighting words. They were Laplace and Footman. Luminous was laying elegantly on a couch before the Holy Ark she was guarding with her life. Her eyes were fixed on the two intruders. These two men at first glance were no match for Luminous, but the aura they were giving off was something that she could not underestimate. While hiding her strong emotions, Luminous solemnly spoke, "I shall permit you to announce your names." While the clowns were surprised to find that their intrusion was expected, Granbell did mention the possibility. With that in mind, he had sent someone to tag along with them. That person had helped guide the clowns to make it through multiple layers of defense before reaching their destination safely. "Nice to meet you, I am Wonder Piero Laplace, Vice Chairman of the Jack of All Trades Moderate Clown Troupe. This here is Footman." He introduced himself in a teasing tone before signaling Footman with a gesture. "Haha, I am Angry Piero Footman. Even though I don't know you too well, I'll be in your care." Facing Luminous and her servants, Footman wasn't shy in the slightest. His idea was pure and simple. Defeat his enemies, that was the only thing on his mind. He waited quietly for Laplace to give the green light. "Oh yeah, there's another one, come on in." As Laplace called out, someone else appeared by the entrance. A blonde beauty showed up. "She ain't a big talker, but I think her name is. I've met you in the past. Yes, you're the woman Granbell loves so deeply, Marie Rosso." Right, that Maria. My, so Luminous-sama knows her already." Hearing this, Luminous had a disgruntled expression. "You there, quit acting all friendly. Self-introduction is over, so there won't be any regrets now. The time to talk is over, we shall commune with our fists." Lumina's tolerance was nearly depleted. She only held back knowing that someone was hiding. When the last person showed up, she couldn't take it any longer. "The hell, you got a real short temper, no? We did finish our introduction. There's one more thing though, Granbell wanted us to give you a message." "Oh? Then I'm gonna give you the message. I'll be waiting for you on the ground, come and fight me. If you don't come fast enough, the people you value are all gonna die." That's basically what he said. He's probably fighting that monster Holy Knight Commander Hinata right now. I wonder who's gonna win. Laplace went on and on before Lewis shut him up with a sharp strike, when that Luminous had ordered with a wave of her hand, commencing the attack. "Are you the one that killed my brother?" Lewis demanded. "Tis, you gotta hear other people out before doing this." "Right, never mind. By the way, to answer your question. Yep, that's me. I was the one that killed that Roy guy that looked exactly like you. I have no interest in revenge. But this is a rare opportunity. I'm going to prove here that I'm stronger than my brother." Lewis fixed himself on Laplace as he finished. "Then your opponent shall be me. Don't bore me now, young man." Hahaha. That's my line. Gunther and Footman exchanged looks before rushing out the tomb to duel. They were completely absorbed in their duel, disregarding the amount of damage done to their surroundings. Lewis and Gunther sure give me a headache. They are usually so level-headed but get riled up in combat. But I'm the same way. Granbell, just you wait, even with your final trump card, you cannot stop me. Luminous was just like them. Her sharp gaze fixed on the silent, frail-looking Maria. A dead person, perhaps not. Has Granbell still not given up? Maria has already passed on. It wouldn't work even with my god's miracle resurrection. Lost souls cannot be saved, yet he. Luminous muttered to herself calmly. Indeed, the woman in front of her was not Maria. It was merely something that resembled her. Very well, I must perform the last rites over you. With burning Yuki surrounding her, Luminous stood up. She then began to fight against Maria at a speed no average man could see. Would the victor be a Luminous, or the unknown entity that resembled Maria? Only the Holy Ark remained in the tomb. Mindful of causing damage to their surroundings, everyone had moved outside. Predicting this, a young man emerged from the shadows. Ahaha, I never expected this plan to be so simple. But it's true, just like Granbell said, Yuki sneered. While not completely convinced by Granbell's information, he hid his presence completely and followed. He was so well concealed that even Luminous was fooled. Yuki usually made sure to give off some of his aura, so that he could completely conceal it during an emergency. Most people facing an opponent with a noticeable aura would get the impression that they were the stronger one, which made them more susceptible to getting careless. Knowing this, Yuki had made sure to exploit it whenever possible. During important occasions that practice came in handy. This time was no exception. With little to no effort, Yuki acquired his target item. So, this is the Holy Ark. He put his hand gently on the icy coffin to feel its surface. Ah, that's what it's made out of, an entity purely composed of holy particles. So things like this actually exist. It's so fortunate that I tagged along, Yuki thought to himself. The others probably wouldn't be able to even touch the exterior. It would likely burn up all their mana, yet with anti-skill it had no effect on Yuki. He was the only one with the means to steal the strongest hero. And so, he broke the coffin without hesitation. The secret treasure Luminous had tried so hard to protect was destroyed so easily. A beautiful young girl was sleeping inside. She had to be the hero Yuki came to seek. Oh, this girl's body is sealed too. Well, not that I can't dispel it, but maybe I'll just do it later. The security measure sure was tight. Yuki gave off a wry smile internally. A barrier stronger than the Holy Ark covered every inch of the young girl's skin. I suppose I'll take my time decorating them at the base. Coming to that conclusion, Yuki's eyes fell on the girl's face. Who is this girl? I feel like I've seen her somewhere. There's no way. Her age was around 16. Her long, dark silver hair covered up her private parts. She was like a newborn, naked with not a single piece of cloth. I'll probably be accused of sexual harassment for doing this, but there's no time, Yuki muttered before picking up the beautiful teen. I got the hero, now it's time to bail. As he finished, Yuki cracked an evil grin and left the scene. Why was the hero sleeping in the Holy Ark in the first place? Is it really the weapon for the final battle as claimed by Granbell? Regardless of all that, what was Granbell's true intention? Yuki was always skeptical, but perhaps because he had always found great success in what he did, he had grown pretentious, thinking that he could solve any problems that came up. This was probably why, despite the doubts in his mind, he still cooperated with Granbell. Yuki couldn't begin to imagine the consequences of his action right now. The Otherworlders charged at me like zombies. I carefully paralyzed them one by one without killing anyone. Based on my current power level, even when faced against 100 of such opponents, I wouldn't have a hard time. At most, the process of dispelling the curses would be troublesome. Speaking of which, these Otherworlders were really something else. I focused and observed them carefully to discover that they all possessed a large quantity of magicules. Their constitution was strong as well, with some even showing strength that matched the level of rank A. However, for some reason, I didn't feel that they lived up to the rank. At first, I thought that it was because of the difference in our strength, but it wasn't the only reason. Their free wills had been taken by Granbell. Moreover, there was also answer. During this battle, none of them used their unique skills. That's it. I get it now, so that's how it is. None of the people I had been fighting launched any special attacks. That's why the task of paralyzing them was so monotonous. In other words, even though there were so many Otherworlders, none of them had a unique skill. Were they all holding back against me? No matter what the truth was, it felt strange. Anyhow, no matter what Granbell's goal was, it'd all be resolved when I beat him. After settling on the idea, I approached the last Otherworlder. She looked rather young, around 10. She was probably old enough for Magicule to settle properly inside her body. The child only wielded empty power, nothing challenging. I undid the curse skillfully. Everything proceeded smoothly. When she regained her consciousness, she seemed confused at the situation. I didn't have the time to explain everything in detail to her, so I quickly knocked her out and let her lie down with the others. There were several kids like her, so it was really difficult for me to handle them. Granbell didn't seem to care about them at all, but I still managed to figure out a solution. His goal was probably to win some time. Had I been serious, it wouldn't take much time to kill them all. It looked like Granbell achieved his goal in that regard. But with this, all the Otherworlders fighting me had been paralyzed. I didn't know why he wanted to stall time, and truthfully, I didn't really care at this point. I simply wanted to finish this battle as soon as possible. Judging so, I turned to the battlefield to get hold of some information. The children were all fine, so I could rest assured for now. Even under these circumstances, the band members were still practicing with utmost effort. Should I call them bold? Perhaps it was a good way to reduce stress by focusing all your attention on something. Hinata and Granbell were both standing their ground in the duel. As expected from masters of combat. It wasn't an exaggeration to say that the two were fighting at ultra-high speed. They were exchanging blows in a brilliant display of their masterful techniques, where a single mistake could not be tolerated. A misstep on my part might throw out the current balance, and lead to either one's swift defeat. I figured it would be best if I focused my attention on them later. Xian and Ranga were being suppressed by Razzle. However, his advantage wasn't enough to guarantee victory. Xian allowed Razzle to land his blows on her, since all of her wounds could automatically be healed. Ultra speed regeneration was really a cheating skill. No matter how vast the difference in strength, she could still rely on this skill to get an edge. Ranga, on the other hand, focused on landing attacks. He hid in Xian's shadow and targeted Razzle's blind spots. He was also casting magic attacks such as Death Heralding Wind and Black Lightning. The clever method of combat was impressive. The problem was, however, that none of these attacks were working on Razzle. In fact, he was very different. I recalled that Apido and Zijin were both insect-type monsters like him. Their compound eyes could apparently watch their blind spots clearly, therefore he even evaded Ranga's sneak attacks with ease. Basically, unless it was a powerful attack, it wouldn't work on Razzle. The thing that looked like black armor on him was his exoskeleton. It was harder than steel. He could block Xian's Adachi with the shell of his left hand alone. It was ridiculously tough. Therefore, nothing would work except an attack to the joints. It could also deflect Ranga's magic, so the surface of his exoskeleton had an effect similar to magic interference. If that was the case, no wonder Diablo had a tough time fighting. He excelled at using magic, so Razzle would be his natural counter. With that being said, Diablo probably had other means to defeat him. With advantages in both physical and magical defense, this Razzle was something else. To think that such a formidable guy would have no ambition and serve Granbell. Never mind, even if Xian and Ranga were having a hard time fighting him, I would probably have been able to take him down. On that note, I decided to take care of Razzle.